Hello, I'm Yilda Hakim. Welcome to the Daily Global, where we'll bring you the top stories from around the world. We begin with the major security crisis unfolding in West Africa within the last hour. It's been confirmed that several planes are in the air en route to Niger to evacuate French and other European citizens. It follows last week's military coup and a worsening security situation on the ground. The US, Spain and Italy are also arranging rescue flights. The UK has told British nationals in Niger to register their location and stay indoors. On Sunday, the regional bloc ECOWAS issued an ultimatum to the coup leaders to restore democracy within 7 days or face what it called all necessary means. Is part of Africa's Sahel region, which stretches from the Atlantic to the Red Sea. Overnight, Burkina Faso, Mali and Guinea issued a joint statement saying any military intervention in Niger would be regarded as a declaration of war on them. France says it has no plans to withdraw around 10 of its soldiers based in Niger, where they are part of an international effort to fight Islamist militants. Wele Kane is the Nigerian ambassador to Paris and the UK. She's been in contact with President Bazoum in Niger, and just before we came on air she told me how he was doing. Have a listen. The president of Nigeria, effectively we have a daily call, and he is but he is well, and his moral is high, as well as his family's moral. Does he think there will be a solution, and does he know when he'll be freed? No, he don't talk with us on his terms, but as you know, he's a prime minister. A pleasure is here in Paris. With him we exchanged on this prevailing situation in Niger, which is most worrying. And what is the Prime Minister saying? Our exchange is about the major situation, and we think together that this unfortunate event for our country cannot be caused by any internal crisis. On all fronts we are on a good trajectory, particularly on the security front, where major airports are being made to contain terrorism. Who do you currently represent? Do you still believe that your government will turn to power? Yes, I believe that the President Bazoum will be reestablished on his seat, and I believe that our democratic institutions will be settled again. How will that happen? Because of course the coup leaders say that France is going to attempt some kind of military intervention. Do you know if that is likely to happen? I know one thing is the ECOWAS community. The ECOWAS community says that we have a simple assumption, that will be settled. And if they do this, success, we can have an intervention. The only thing I know is that this ultimatum that ECOWAS has given, that there needs to be some kind of resolution to this within 7 days. Do you believe that they will take some kind of action if the coup leaders don't reinstate President Bazoum? We hope that the ongoing negotiations can lead to a peaceful solution now, because it is the best issue for our country. You interpret what Mali and Burkina Faso are saying. They're saying if ECOWAS intervenes in any way in the situation in Niger, it is also a declaration of war on them. I tell you one thing, if you know Niger and the border of Niger, you can see that we have ordered this Burkina festival. We have border with Mali. All the two borders are the borders when in the territory of Mali and out in Burkina. There is no border militia without terrorists in Nigeria. We don't have this situation, but our border with this true country is full with terrorism, and terrorists are active and very, very active in this thing. In this zone, it is a very tense and dangerous and very fragile situation. Right now, what do you think will happen next? Boren. I hope that we rapidly have an issue, and good issue, because negotiation is going on. We have the 8th limit of which is going on also, so the most and best solution is that this negotiation can put our president person on Hilly City again and reestablish democratic order in our country. It's our hope is our. That was Niger's ambassador to France, Ambassador Kane, speaking to me a little earlier. Well, on a day of fast-moving developments in West Africa, let's get some analysis from the former U.S. Ambassador to Chad Mark Balwer. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us here on the program. It is an incredibly tense and dangerous situation right now. I mean, you are Ambassador US. Ambassador to Chad, you know the region. Well, just give us your assessment of this developing situation. Well, it is a tense and dangerous situation, and as time goes on, of course, on the coup leaders, the hunt consolidates its power. In the beginning, it was just the presidential guard who took this action, and another military was apparently not completely on board with it, but over time they decided to join in and reinforce them. Just so now the military seems to be united around the coup, making it very difficult to reverse up. Hopefully the intervention of President Deby and his mediation on behalf of ECOWAS will bear fruit. I think that's the only way to get positive out. Do you think that the President of Chad intervening, as you say, President Deby, who was there in the last 24 hours, will make some kind of difference? I think it's very possible that Chad is certainly a regional power, a very strong country with great deal of influence in the regions. One military man, after all, speaking to other military men, hopefully he will be able to dig in, see what they're really after. If it's something other than just power for power's sake, there may be a way to look at whatever grievances they may have and deal with those in such a way as to put President Bazoum back in power. It would be very difficult, though. It's a tight window, and the window is closing, I think. I mean, how do you view this threat that's being made by ECOWAS of this ultimatum? Reverse this, do something differently within the next 7 days, or else force. They sort of watch Mali, Burkina Faso again, the sort of succumb to these types of coups, and nothing was done. No, certainly I think ECOWAS has been fed up with this succession of coups and is attempting to assert its authority on behalf of democracy and the principle of democracy, but it's very difficult to do other than when you as I say, united military that the distances are enormous for military intervention, very expensive. The support part of the world tough to pull off, but there are certainly communicating their seriousness, and hopefully that the seriousness in their position will help President Deby as he tries to negotiate some sort of peaceful outcome for this. And what would that peaceful outcome look like to please these co-leaders, and I suppose fulfill the requirements of the West ECOWAS and as well as President Bazoum? Well, it's hard to say. Every situation is unique, but restoring the other president is pretty much the non-negotiable part of it. He needs to be put back in power as president, but within that certainly you can look at changes to the military structure if that's the question. Changes and benefits for the military are giving them a greater policy role, or all sorts of things might be possible. But again, you have to get into the negotiation to get into the details and see what's in the round. Sort of see what these military leaders want, because right now there isn't much clarity on that. They are accusing President Bazoum of certain things, that their frustration with the security situation, that they're accusing him of things like corruption, for example, and the close ties to the West. But exactly what is it that these military leaders want? Well, we don't really know right now. As I say, if it's just power for power's sake, then it will be very difficult to reverse. But if they have some grievances that they're willing to articulate that are of more of a policy nature, then that could be dealt with. Ambassador, thank you very much for your time. You're welcome. Pleasure.